Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Pete. So I woke up this morning and I looked at the news and I'm looking at the stock market right now thinking, oh my God, what is going on? The FTSE 100 is down as of opening this morning. Yesterday, tech stocks were an absolute mess. It's just a nightmare right now. And when I started thinking about where we're seeing growth, the only place that I could see significant growth evidently was actually in the crypto space. I mean, Ethereum yesterday went through 4,000, and you cannot deny the kind of returns that the crypto space has delivered this year. I mean, wow, the returns have been incredible. And I know that there are many people who are thinking about moving from the stock market into the crypto space because that seems to be where the opportunity is. But with opportunity, there are always things that you need to consider. And I started to think about, well, what is the position on taxes on crypto? What taxes do you need to pay on crypto? So this video is dedicated to that topic specifically. And I'm going to be going through what the HMRC position is for crypto at this point in time. I'm going to be going through what disposables are because disposable as a term is very important to this conversation. Then we're going to be having a look at the allowances that you have, and we're going to be looking at the tax positions depending on whether you are an investor just doing this from a personal investing point of view, if you're a miner, whether you're a hobby miner or hobbyist miner, a business miner, whether you are staking, whether you're getting cryptos via airdrop. So for example, in Coinbase, for example, where you complete an exercise, you get some free coins. What's the taxation of that? And I'm also going to be talking about if you are receiving cryptocurrencies as part of your salary or your pay scheme. Okay, so in starting this, I think it's really important to acknowledge I am in no way, shape, or form a crypto expert. I'm not. It's not my forte. I can speak a little bit about individual coins, but not to the detail that I would normally speak about when we talk about investing. I mean, that's where I spent most of my career. I can talk about that all day long. Now, when it comes to crypto, it's really important to make sure that you do your homework. Yes, it is volatile. Yes, it is attractive. You need to do your homework. The same thing applies when it comes to this topic on, taxes on crypto. I am not a tax specialist. I'm not an accountant. And this is the one thing that I will say to you guys. Please make sure that you go and seek the appropriate advice if any of this is confusing to you. Because the last thing you want is to get on the wrong side of HMRC and they start issuing you penalties just because you should have done something and you didn't know that you needed to do it. Unfortunately, pleading ignorance with HMRC is not going to help you at all. So please make sure that you go into this with your eyes open and knowing what is expected of you, because guess what, there are lots of resources out there, and the sources of or research that I've done for this video I will link below. You can literally go down like a rabbit hole for this stuff on Google, and I hope that this video brings some of the key points and key bits of information together in a succinct way for you. But if in doubt, make sure that you go and seek a tax specialist. If you do like this video and you think this is going to be valuable for you as you go through this, make sure you smash the like button for me as well. So let's kick this off with where are we at the minute when it comes to crypto on taxes? So I think everybody will acknowledge that the crypto space is very, very exciting right now. And unfortunately, whilst everybody in the retail space or in the general public understands that crypto is a great opportunity right now, unfortunately, Rishi Sunak also sees that too. And there is probably one thing that you can guarantee. He is not going to sit back and think, I'm going to let people make a lot of money in the crypto space and not tax them. And this is where you get into the argument of, well, it's a decentralized asset. It's not supposed to be taxed by the system or controlled by the system. How can you tax this? Well, let me tell you this. They have found ways and they will find ways moving forward. And this really brings us to, the agreement they announced, or at least what Coinbase announced last October, in the fact that they now have to report accounts with over 5,000 euros as a balance if you've invested in cryptocurrency. So pretty much HMRC knows that you have money in crypto if you're using the likes of Coinbase. This isn't just happening in the UK. This is also happening in the States as well. So various governments around the world are taking notice of this because this is a new asset class that is delivering extraordinary returns. And if there are two things that you can guarantee in life, it is death and it is taxes. Now, what is the official HMRC rule when it comes to crypto taxation in general? Well, HMRC basically says that if you are investing in cryptocurrency as a personal investor, you are subject to capital gains tax. I don't think that that is that much of a secret to many people who are invested. Now, if you are a basic rate taxpayer, the current rate for capital gains tax, as of recording this video in May 2021, is 10%. It is 20% if you are a higher rate taxpayer and above. So, quite a hefty capital gains bill. Now, what does capital gains actually mean, and what does that actually mean in practice? Well, if you buy a Bitcoin for £1,000 and next week it's worth £10,000, the gain that you had on that transaction is £9,000. Now, clearly, you do have allowances. So your capital gains allowance for this current tax year is £12,300. So in this example, where you bought Bitcoin for £1,000 and it's worth £10,000 and you sell it, you have a £9,000 gain. It is below your £12,000 allowance, so therefore you wouldn't have to pay your taxes on that. But if it was, say, a gain of £20,000, then the difference between £20,000 and 12,300 will be subject to tax at either 10 or 20%, depending on what level of a taxpayer you are: basic rate, higher rate, or additional rate tax. So that's how capital gains tends to work in a nutshell. Now, there is some language that becomes very, very important when it comes to crypto specifically. And that phrase, or the language that I want to really highlight here, is the word disposal. So, disposal, what does that essentially mean? Because when you look at disposal in the investment world, you would assume it's selling of an investment where you essentially then cash it in and the money hits your account. Capital gains tax becomes payable at that point. In the crypto space, however, disposal is defined as this. Now, disposal includes selling crypto assets for money, so exchanging that for fiat currency. It's exchanging crypto assets for a different type of crypto asset. So that means if you buy Bitcoin, you sell Bitcoin, and you convert that to Ethereum, that essentially is a disposal and subject to capital gains tax. Using crypto assets to pay for goods and services, again, that is a disposal, so possibly subject to capital gains tax, and giving away cryptocurrencies or crypto assets to another person. Now, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about that fourth point right there: giving away crypto assets to another person. Because there are certain circumstances where you can gift cryptocurrencies to a partner, got to be married, where this could actually help you reduce your capital gains tax bill. So let me just talk you through a very high level example of how that essentially works. So imagine you purchase 10 Bitcoin for £80,000. And let's just say you gift half of that to your partner. You then each sell a portion of that holding, and you sell £50,000 worth of Bitcoin each. So the total that you sell is £100,000. Now, the capital gain versus the original value of the Bitcoin that you purchased is 20,000. So you bought it for 80,000, you sold for 100,000. So the capital gain there is £20,000. If you didn't gift part of your Bitcoin holdings to your partner, then essentially you would have to pay tax on the difference between anything over and above £12,300. And that will be at your rate. So either 10 or 20%. But because you gifted some of that Bitcoin to your partner, that £20,000 gain is actually split across both of you. And because you're both under your £12,300 limit, there is a zero capital gains tax to pay. Now, this is a unique example within the crypto space where you can, and obviously benefits to being married, reduce your capital gains tax. Now, if you are a hobbyist miner, so you're mining cryptocurrency and it is a little bit of a hobby, it's not a business for you, then the main thing that you need to remember is that you always have to report the value of the cryptocurrency at fair market value. So, for example, if you're mining Bitcoin and you mine the Bitcoin at, say, £10,000, for example, then that is the fair market value. If you later dispose of that Bitcoin for 30,000 and you have a $20,000 gain in the sale of that Bitcoin, then you're going to pay capital gains tax on the amount over and above your £12,300 capital gains allowance. For hobbyist miners, it is pretty straightforward and something that you need to know. But again, when you're doing your self assessments, you need to be mindful of this as well. Now, if you're mining for business purposes, so you're set up as a business mining, then you still have to report fair market value. That's important for you to acknowledge. However, HMRC do give you a little bit of an allowance, so you can earn up to £1,000 in income as a byproduct of you mining for business purposes without paying in tax. So, for example, if you're mining, you earn £800 in income, you pay no tax. However, if you mine and you earn 1,200, you've got to pay tax on the £200 over the £1,000 limit. It's really, really important to understand. There aren't that many people, I guess, that I know of, or that may be watching this video who will be mining for business purposes. But if you are, make sure that you bear that in mind. You should definitely probably go and see a tax specialist or an accountant to make sure that you're getting this right. Because again, you don't want to fall foul of any of these rules. Now, with staking, if you are staking, so if you're buying a stable coin, for example, and you're staking and you're getting returns, well, you still have to report the fair market value. And there's a bit of a theme here, guys. Fair market value of these coins is really, really important. You will still be subject to capital gains tax on disposal. So please remember what disposal essentially means to HMRC. So again, it's selling of cryptocurrencies for money, exchanging cryptocurrency, one cryptocurrency for another. It's also using cryptocurrencies to pay for goods and services, and then giving cryptocurrencies to another person. So you have to, again, bear in mind, fair market value, you'll be subject to capital gains tax. Now let's talk about airdrop. So if you're receiving free cryptocurrencies via airdrop, you might be using Coinbase, for example, watching a few videos, and as a reward for watching those videos, you get a free cryptocurrency. There will be no income tax payable on that. However, it is subject to capital gain. So even though you are getting a free coin, you still will have to pay capital gains tax on disposal of that crypto asset. Now, there is a little bit of a distinction. So, for example, if you are getting airdrop of cryptocurrencies in exchange for a performed service. So, for example, I'm here on YouTube. If I was promoting a particular cryptocurrency, for example, and they gave me free cryptocurrency as part of that, I would be liable to pay income tax on that, and then possibly also have it liable to capital gains tax as well. It's a really, really thin and fine distinction to make. I think for most people, if you're using Coinbase or any of these providers that allow you to get education on a particular coin, and in exchange for watching the video, you get a free coin via airdrop, you don't have to worry. But if you are performing any services or anything like that, then you need to be mindful that there will be income tax due on that, because it's almost deemed as earned income. I don't think that many people watching this will fall into that category, but it's something you should be mindful of anyway. And that leads us on to the last thing, which is if you are getting paid in cryptocurrency. So if you are requesting payment in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and again, I don't know that many people who will be receiving payment in cryptocurrency, because most of the system is set up for fiat currency still. But if you are going to be subject to income tax and national contributions on the amount in transit as well. So really, really important to bear in mind and to state. I think I've covered most of what I needed to cover in this video. This is a really fascinating subject for me, guys, and this is something that I'm sure is going to become a topic of conversation as people start to realize that they've made quite a bit of gains in their cryptocurrency adventures and HMRC come knocking. We know that Coinbase have obviously signed that agreement back in October. I'm sure they will have the same thing in place with other providers as well. And you know, what can you say? Even though it is decentralized, it doesn't absolve you of the responsibility to pay tax on them. Let me know what you think of this video. Has it been helpful? Again, this is not my forte. If you are confused, if you need help with this, please go and seek help to a tax specialist or an accountant. In fact, I will also leave a link in the comment section below for a crypto tax specialist. It's not an affiliate link. It's not being paid, but I did find it in doing research for this. Hopefully, it will be useful for you. People like CoinTracker do actually have some tools that will help you as well keep track of your taxation and your position when it comes to crypto and tax. So if you've not listened to the podcast already this week, got a little bit of a cracker, make sure you go watch it out there. I will be doing a live session midweek this week. I can't wait for you to join me there. But guys, have an amazing week. Remember, money is a tool, life is for living. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon.